So Tetsu-sama. Seeing my hesitation, Hachiraku speaks to me in a kind voice. Reverend Akai was very grounded in reality. Reality. He made me realize how naive I was. Reverend Akai knows how the Imperial Railway ended, as well as how it brought a decline to the people of Ohatoyo. My carefree eyes, coming back from the capital, what I see and what they see are entirely different. You can't make a living off ideals alone. If that were the case, then the railways and downstream boating wouldn't be in the predicament that they're in right now. What we first need to present is whether you can feed yourself. The repair of 8620 will naturally take lots of time. Assuming there will be people who are merely volunteering, passion alone won't last more than 2 weeks. Rather than gathering cooperators, I should focus on prepping to keep the work going. And the preparations you speak of are mainly money, I do believe. What he says is correct. Hachiraku has doubts of her own, just in different ways. Among the advice that Reverend Akai provided is to talk with the bank. Well, it's easier to take action than worry about it. But I don't like either choice. In these cases, it's best to choose what can be done the quickest. I've always done so, and I will do that this time as well. Hachiraku, well, let's head back to the brewery. We need to talk it over with Makarani first. Yes, if that's what you want, so Tetsu-sama, I, Hachiraku, will accompany you. Is this for the best? I don't know. We head to the brewery in silence. Oh, So-chan and Hachiraku-chan. It's rare for you to come here. Makarani, we need to talk. About what? Want to go to the living room then? No, I think it's better here. The longer I wait, the harder it'll get, and it's good that I don't see Hibiki today either. What's going on? Why so serious? There's something I'm planning with Paulette and others. I saw about finding 8620 and about the repair plan, about what I learned from Old Man Minakasa, Nagi and Fukumai, and Reverend Akai. I tried to summarize everything as concise as possible, and that's enough for Makarani to come to the conclusion before I finish. So, you need operating resources, So-chan? A source of money so that you can make it without the help of Mikita? Yes. See, this is exactly why I didn't want to talk to Makarani about it. If I get used to how easy it is to depend on her, my ability to put in actual effort will disappear entirely. What are these operational resources you speak of? There must have been more than she expected. Hachiraku speaks up about her doubts, to which Makarani swiftly answers. Hachiraku-chan, what is money to you? Money. Money is something that goes in the black when you reduce fixed costs and increase fair income. Uh-huh. And when it is in the red, money must be made with affiliate businesses. Affiliate businesses? Operating hotels, tourism, and commercial facilities using the vast networks of tracks of the railway company and the ability to attract customers are the most common examples. Makarani nods in a way that indicates she's impressed by the answer. Then, the operational resources are the trains and people who make the fair income using the network of tracks and ability to attract customers of the railway company. Ah. With that, Hachiraku understands. Now, Makarani led Hachiraku to the answer using the fewest number of steps. So that means operational resources are components that can be used to make money. You can consider them something that you use ordinarily to make normal money, or combine them well to make lots of money. Normal or combine them well. For example, Hachiroku-chan, take a look at her. Macaroni points at an employee I've never seen before who's meticulously cleaning. Her operational resource is her attention to detail and patience. She moves quickly and has an observant eye. Those are wonderful virtues. And if you use that normally, you'll get the hourly pay of 750 yen doing cleaning duties. All new employees are first placed on cleaning duties when they are first hired at the brewery. They do it for at least a year at most. They stay at it forever if they do not surpass that. They will not be allowed to be part of making shochu. This one right here has the same operational resources, but also has a good nose and experience, so she's on malt watch. She continually does the delicate work of maintaining the malt and mash at a certain temperature. I recognized the woman on malt watch. When I left Ohatoyo, she was still on cleaning duties. Once you're able to do that, your pay jumps up to 1,500 yen an hour. Having a good nose and experience can double your wages. And that lady over there has all the qualities I mentioned, in addition to having the operational resources called ideas. When it gets to this level, I can recognize their names and faces. That's, Moe-san. She is a veteran brewer at the Megita No. 1 brewery. She is the mother of the hit product Tonyu Shochu, which is a shochu made from soy milk. What would be their hourly pay then? Salaried positions are based on a work week of 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. If you calculate that on an hourly wage, she makes 3,000 yen an hour. Oh my, doubled again. On top of that, for any new product we make, we share 10% of the profits with the developer as an incentive. 10% incentive. The Tonyu Shochu put out an annual profit last year of 94 million yen. So at 10% she receives 9,400,000 yen. A short silence lasting less than a second passes. That's worth 12,534 hours of the person on cleaning duties. Considering they work 8 hours a day, that's 4 years worth of pay. This is an example of getting passive income simply by combining experience with ideas. By combining the operational resources well, it can greatly inflate the amount of profits. Hachiroku nods wildly. Widely, not wildly. Widely. Whether the work is at a brewery or at the railway company, that part doesn't change. Yep, you seem to understand that well. Macaroni pats Hachiroku on the head in an exaggerated way before throwing a gentle gaze and a question. Anything else? Anything you don't understand or are wondering about? She raises her hand after waiting for Macaroni to nod. Hachiroku speaks quickly. There's a steam building up in this brewery, and there are numerous pipes running each way. Managing temperature is crucial when making shochu. While saying that, she moves to the tank with the mash left to ferment. Next to that are 2 pipes running alongside it. There's a red valve and a blue valve. The pipe with the red valve is for hot water. The pipe with the blue valve is for cold water. Macaroni sniffs out something. She extends her long fingers and loosens the blue valve just slightly. Loosen the valve and the water will pour out. Close it and it'll stop. That's how you manage the temperature. Simple, right? How do you boil the water then? At the boiler, of course. But instead of a coal boiler, light oil is the fuel used. After hearing that, Hachiroku smiles in response. That makes it feel a little unfortunate, but it also makes me happy at the same time to know that shochu making is like a steam locomotive. Oh. Yes, that's right. While searching out coal for Hachiko when she was hungry, McCurney did mention this. McCurney, I remember you saying that there is a coal boiler here that's not used anymore? There is, but if you want to use it, you'll need to fix it up quite a bit. It's seen better days. If I work on it, or if I fix it, it'll be usable? I can't guarantee that, but it's possible. In that case, let's first do some maintenance and repair on that coal boiler. Naturally, this will become a good experience that can connect to maintaining and repairing 8620's boiler. And when we manage to fix the coal boiler, we can use that to make shochu. Ah, considering it's a coal boiler? That's right, it uses the same coal as 8620, and will make shochu. Just like powering a steam locomotive, we'll use the same ingredients to make shochu. I like the way that sounds. It gives the impression of instilling strength just by drinking it. If I have to name it, let's see. Steam shochu. Ohatoyoshi. Kind-hearted. Hachiroku. How's that? After I say that, Hachiroku jumps up with joy. Her actions are far from being maiden-like, but it still seems graceful. It's wonderful. If it's like that, I'd like to drink it, even at the risk of getting abnormal combustion. That might work. You're making the repair of that 8620 public, right? Yeah. My outburst of fondness is interrupted as an affirmation by McCurney. Then try selling the prototype of it. If it works out, you can kick things off by reviving 8620. That would be great. So, Jen, I'm the chief brewer here. If I decide something, it's as good as law. Thank you, McCurney. I bow down as deeply as I can. In such a short amount of time and a few words, McCurney lets me realize the answer. Combine various operational resources, and that will multiply the profits. It has a great effect at the individual level. There's no choice but to expand on it. I am Hachiroku's owner. Yes, 8620 and I, without a doubt, your operational resources, said Tetsu-sama. Paulette, Tsubiki, Old Man, Minakasa, Nike, and Fukumai are all resources. Oh. Ask Hibiki for the label design for the bottle shape. I can ask Old Man Minakasa to introduce me to a glass or pottery craftsman. The rail shop, rail station, Kuma River, downstream boat dock. We can secure new sales routes aiming for tourists. The Prev 8620 will then be used as the operational resources for the entire Ohatoyo region. That way people can see that the activity gives birth to profits. Haha, So-chan, I'm glad you realized it. McCurney smiles, happily satisfied. If you want to make money work for you. That's the foundation of business. Yeah, McCurney. I've gained another resource by learning to think about how accurate Reverend Akai's advice was. Now that I do understand, I better make sure that I take each step prudently so that I don't fail. The first order of business is the coal boiler. If it can't be fixed, everything will go to waste. Please make use of me, then. I remember clearly the entire structure of the boiler. You can count on that. But that's not enough. Even if it's just enough, I can't let it stay that way. In order to create a large profit share that will involve all of Ohatoyo, just like McCurney said, I'll have to make them work. Can you teach me one thing, McCurney? The phone number for the boiler store? She anticipates everything. If it were my younger self, I'd have resisted simply on principle. But now I know how useless cheap pride is. McCurney is the one whom I should involve more than anyone. Yes, you're right. Yes, please. No one's answering. McCurney and I discussed many things involving this. Before we know it, it's already 9 o'clock. I called before dinner, too. Seems like I'll have to try another day. I should take a walk outside. It's still too early to sleep, but my mind is way too tired for me to do anything. I should exercise a little, and I know, I should practice shoveling coal 400 times. I'm going out for a little. I've asked Tetrarcher to prepare the materials. At this hour, Hibiki is probably studying. I quietly exit out the front door to make sure I don't interfere. Oh. Speak of the devil. Or not, I just called her earlier. It's certainly a surprise. I called you a little while ago. Huh? Oh. Pod, being nervous, fumbles for her cell phone in her pouch. You're right. I'm sorry, I was in a hurry, so I didn't notice. It's alright. Actually, if you're in a hurry. Oh, no, I mean I hurried here because I was hoping to talk with you, Satetsu-kun. With me? I couldn't answer the phone when you called her, and by the time I could call you back, it was late already. Right, because I don't have a cell phone. No, I just know that Navi-chan forbids it. It's afraid that cell phone's reception and waves will cause ill effects on the flight devices. It prioritizes your life after all, Satetsu-kun. Of course it will come to that conclusion. If you pay attention to the sky, you can hear aircraft everywhere. When it takes off from the water, I'm sure it gives a lot of sleeping waterfowl a rude awakening. If you want to talk about how we do talk, how about we do so while walking? I was about to head to the station. Sure, gladly. Poet's strides are surprisingly long. She walks quickly with a good posture, too. I find it oddly comfortable knowing that I don't have to match my steps to hers. I see. That's interesting. I tell her about what Reverend Akai said. Naturally, I mention what McCurney said as well. So that's one way to look at it. Pod only continues to nod. She listens intently, as if she is really interested. Sometimes I am able to draw out an opinion from her, to which she gives me an honest response. Operational resources. Using them by combining them. If it can be done well, that would be ideal. But things aren't that easy. That's what I say, but I'm optimistic. Pod is with me right now, so rather than practicing shoveling coal, do you mind if I confirm my operational resources? You mean 8620? Go right ahead. With a strangely elated voice, Pod stands in front of me. If you're entering the stone storage, then it's faster to go this way. I see. We get away from the shortest path to the rail shop and cross the railroad crossing. We go alongside the tracks and head to the station. See, it was closer, right? Oh, she's right. That is somewhat closer. But more importantly, seeing the scenery here makes me thankful for taking this route. It can look so different when seeing things from the other side of the platform. This angle is one of my favorites. Pat stretches her fingers while saying that. According to the Otoyo Onsen station archives, this engine storage was built in the year 41 together with the main building. What main building? Oh, of the station. It's where the station officer is. Station offices. I see. The kanji characters share the same ones as the ones for the bookstore. It's so confusing. Alright, it's difficult for me, even as a citizen of Japan. Pod giggles at that. So am I. Though I did grow up in France. I see. So, are you half? People say double nowadays, right? I don't really mind either way. She gives a satisfied smile. Pod then taps the tip of her nose. I am a fourth, so that makes me a quarter. My grandfather on my mother's side is a Frank. Oh. Just like the engine storage, this was also originally a fourth of the size. After doing that, I look at it with more attentive eyes. Upon examining it, I can see that there are some mishmash of patches here and there. Was there an extension built? I think so. Her fingers point at the engine storage again. The one at the front next to the ash huts. The part with the galvanized steel is the one added last. The last? Then was it an additional to accommodate for the diesel locomotive? That's what it said. The original stone storage is the part with the blue roof. Yes, I see the part where the roof changes color, and the part behind that must be the extension portions. During its prime years, the extension was built when all the locomotives couldn't fit inside. And then the passenger and freight car storage was also added. What's that? It's a storage area for the passenger and freight cars. I see. Now I see what you mean. I don't know too much about the station, but I did research this part, just a little. She says it in a way not really meant to be modest. Pod turns around, looking softly at the engine storage platform and the main building of the station. The station is also interesting. The history of railways continues to build upon itself. You must really love them, Paulette. Oh, to say that, Pod flails her arms wildly. My interest is still only superficial, and I barely know anything. What's wrong? Oh, sorry. The city council meeting's debate went on too long today. So your throat is tired. Hold on. With the station building so close, there's no shortage of vending machines. I hear that honey is good for the throat, but Pod seems to be really particular with her tea, I know. You should drink this. Yuzu and honey drink. Pod accepts it with a relieved smile. Thank you, Satetsu-kun. Let me pay you back. At least let me treat you to this. If you have a problem with that, think of it as payment for your lecture. Lecture? Thanks to you, I learned about the main building, as well as the passenger and freight cars today. It'll help me surprise Hachiroku. Alright, in that case, I'll happily accept the lecture fee. Pod runs toward the side of the engine storage and sits down on the platform. She then beckons me over. You get to see the nicer scenery from here. You can see the 8620 well. Yeah? Inside the engine storage is 8620, quietly sleeping. Large, dark, and heavy. Even when motionless, it feels like it can crush everything. It's scary. The smell of blood, the sound of twisted metal. At night, the images come more vividly, causing me to shiver. 8620 is so beautiful. It's darker than the color of night. A warm voice, it penetrates and soothes my body. Beautiful. Yes. I start to feel the same upon hearing that. A black color darker than night, darker than darkness itself. When you stare at it, it feels like it can absorb even my deepest worries. Dignity. Fear, sternness. That's not all. The black body of 8620 encapsulates much more than that. No. Noble. That's what this is. It cannot move, yet it is beautiful. It even feels dependable. Hut smiles in response to my declaration. She enjoys it, as if I am complimenting her. Stella's pride, the pride of carrying so many people, still has not rested. Pride. If even things can have pride, then accidents are ruthless occurrences that can take it all away. So in that case, even if Hachiroku doesn't desire it, how to save it? Articulate the thought into words. It's not out of doing so vicariously because I still haven't recovered from the accident. Though, no. I simply want 8620 to be able to stand up again. You can save it, Sutetsu-kun. No. We can. Yeah. She's right. If we all come together. If Paulette did not take me out here tonight, I never would have realized such a simple thing. Paulette, when did you start liking the railways? A simple curiosity that arises from my desire to know Paulette and railways a little more. There are many things. Her blue eyes close as she remembers the past. Then she turns to me. There are many important reasons, but the first one is my grandmother. Your grandmother? Yes, Grandma Katsuko. I'd heard she used to be a train engineer. A female engineer? Hachiroku said they were rare. I believe Hachiroku's engineer was the only female engineer in the Teo engine depot for a long time. Which engine depot was she a part of? I don't know where she worked, or until when. I don't even know what locomotive she was on. She didn't speak much about herself? No, but look here. She did tell me about this. Wow. Inside her pocket, she carefully takes out a railroad pocket watch that has very obviously been taken good care of. I've seen that before. It's very nice. It's made of gold, detailed, easy to read, and beautiful. The manufacturer is different. Hachiroku's clock is made by the Teiko company. This isn't made in Japan, it's made in America. The brand is, Waltham. Oh, if it's that old, isn't it quite rare? She nods proudly. When the American president visited, he used the Imperial train to travel. Oh, so the Emperor himself entertained him? Even I know the name of the Imperial train. It was a special train used only for the Emperor. My grandmother was engineer for the Imperial train, and this is a gift from the president during that time. No wonder it's such a fine work of art. The chain is most likely solid gold. It's securely fastened to Paulette's buttonhole. Paulette makes sure that she doesn't lose or drop it. She continues to carry it around even now. After hearing that, it made me want to become an engineer too, and then I studied hard about railways and more. But with the advent of the track closure era, railways themselves went to ruin. It makes me wonder how much grief Paulette suffered then. Grandmother took pity on me and gave me this as a keepsake. Paulette sounds like she's tearing up. She tries to calm herself by gulping down the drink. Oh, it's all gone. Oh, then would you like mine? My throat doesn't hurt. I only took a drink or two to accompany her. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. This time she doesn't tilt the can as sharply. She sips the drink quietly. quietly, slowly? Quietly? Yeah, quietly. Quietly, slowly. It's sweet. It's the same drink. Shouldn't it taste the same? Oh, yes, that's true, but even in the dark, I can tell that Poet's cheeks are turning bright red. But why? So to realize it, I grow a little embarrassed too. This is that so-called indirect kiss. It's not like we're in elementary school. It's impossible to be embarrassed over something so trivial. But the more I think about it, the more fretful I feel. I'll be on duty tomorrow morning. Sure. And you better go home soon. Yes. Pot bows in a jerky movement. When I see her, I think about what happened in the morning. Still, don't be too impatient. It'll be terrible if you injure your back or something. Yes, Maitetsu-kun, thank you. Pot says it frantically before turning to the rail shop. She suddenly stops and pauses briefly before turning to me. And yuzu and honey drink, thank you. It was sweet. Good night. I told her not to hurry. I laughed to myself about it. I used to laugh at the girls' comics that Michiku read all the time. I see. I can see how you would panic with this indirect kiss thing. So I guess we've got a bit of a plan now. Hope we can get some action going soon, you know? Get things rolling.